All right, hello everyone, and welcome to another National History Day workshop for the 2025 season. We're going to do today work with the Arizona Memory Project. I have the Arizona Memory Project administrator here with me, Ryan Airforth, who's going to give a presentation along with his digital asset specialist, Amy Stave. And they're going to just walk through you guys with you guys how the Arizona Memory Project works, give you a little bit of background on their collections and how to navigate their collections. They can be a great resource for your rights and responsibilities topics this year, and it's going to get you guys in a direction that's going to be brainstorming different projects and how to research those projects. So without further ado, Ryan, I'm gonna pass it along to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
So my name is Ryan. I'm the Arizona Memory Project Administrator. As Leonard said, we're going to go through in this presentation how to use the Arizona Memory Project for your National History Day project. So there's going to be a lot of information, but we've got different links that you can use to go to other resources. This slide deck will be available to you as well so that you can take it at your own pace as well. So I'm just going to work through this and just know that you'll always be able to come back to it. First, I do want to mention that for the Arizona Memory Project, we do have a statement on hurtful content. As you do research on the site, you may come across things that you might find offensive or hurtful. A lot of the information on the site is a product of its time, and you might find things, that you might find, hurtful. So we do want you to let you know that that kind of information is on the site. We don't editorialize or sanitize or censor anything on the site, so that way what you find on there can be researched and analyzed in the context of its original expression. But we do want to put that notice out there that that kind of content you may come across in the middle of your research. So here is an overview of the project. So it is a free, publicly accessible online platform for local institutions and members of the public to contribute content that helps researchers discover information related to the history, government, and statecraft of Arizona. So I know that's a mouthful, but essentially, it's a site for you to do research for anything related to the history of Arizona. So there's the home page there, this URL right here. So you can bookmark that. Or even if you just do a Google search for Arizona Memory Project, this should be one of the top results on the page. So that's how you get to the home page. For using the site, all you need is internet access. As long as you have internet, you can access the site. It's free. There's no paywalls, there's no subscriptions, and there's no ads. So when you get to the site, what you see is what you get. There's not going to be any of this other stuff that's going on the site. You're free to use it without distraction. There's about 270,000 items on the Arizona Memory Project. Those are all organized into 525 collections, which have been contributed by 116 different institutions. So how do you navigate all that? How do you find things? So first of all, we do have some general instructions and tutorials for you, not including this presentation itself. So we have a research guide. So you can find the link to it down there. So the research guide is a comprehensive guide for how to use the site. It lets you know what all the features are, the tools, the functions, how to do specific tasks on it, how to do a search. So the presentation that we're doing now highlights some important features for using AMP for research, but the research guide will cover everything you need to know. It goes into a lot more detail about what's available to you on the memory project and how to do specific research-based tasks. So I'd encourage everyone to bookmark that link as well to the research guide. We have a series of webinars called Amplify Your Research. These are focused on topics, so it'll be things like how to research newspapers, how to research maps, how to research government documents. So those will focus more specifically on different item types in the site, not just generally how do you do a search, but how do you search for newspapers specifically. So if your project lends itself to a particular type of item where you know you want to work with maps, you know you want to work with newspapers, check these out. So all of those have been recorded and they also have a slide deck to go with them. So go ahead and click that link as well. And that will take you to all the recordings and slides for those. There's one more left for this year that covers topics and places, and that will be uploaded to, well, I believe by the end of October. All right, so creating a member account. So I mentioned earlier that AMP is free. There's no paywalls or anything like that. So I'll mention that you can create a member account. It's not required. You're not missing out on any content by not creating a member account. But what you gain by creating a member account is you're able to bookmark content or items that you find. And when you bookmark those items, you can organize that bookmark content into your own custom collections. You can also suggest edits to metadata. If you find something that you think is factually wrong, you can contact us and then we can fix it. But for the purposes of doing your project, you're going to want to be focused on the bookmarking content and then organizing your bookmark content into custom collections. So to create an account, you can follow these instructions. Click login on the homepage. It's like signing up for anything else you've probably done online. Register now, enter name and email address. We do have to manually approve the account. It doesn't happen automatically, but as long as it happens the same business day, we'll catch it and your account will be approved. Use the email that you used for your sign up. Check that email for a temporary password to log in for the first time. And once you do that, you can go in, enter the credentials that you have through that email. And once there, you can go to the My Profile page, which is now something that will show up once you're logged in. And you can change your name, change your password, change anything that you like. So if you don't like the password it gave you, you can change it to whatever you like. My collection. So this is your bookmark content. So if you do choose to create a member account, you can save any items that you find on the memory project to a new section called My Collection. Once you log in, that My Collection icon will appear in the left-hand side navigation panel. So it's a member account page. It will only show up if you're logged in with your account, and that will list every item that you add to it. Every item that you bookmark will show up in your own My Collection. To do that, once you find an item on the memory project that you'd like to use, just click that star icon. So this is a screenshot of an image, a map in the Arizona Memory Project. Next to every item, you'll see this tools section that will be there for every item. It'll be a little bit different depending on what kind of item you're looking for. So this might have fewer tools, it might have more, but all of them will have this star. So click on that star, that will add it to My Collection that you're logged in. Once you do that, you can start a new collection to organize everything. So once you click on the My Collection tab, you'll see an Organize section on the right-hand side with the button Start a New Collection. So you click on that, name the collection whatever you like. So this is what it looks like when I created a couple. You can create multiple collections, as many as you'd like. So I have a tentative National History Day, Grand Canyon, the right to access, the responsibility to preserve. And then I created another collection of backup ideas. So if I was working through this project and I thought I want to do the Grand Canyon, this is my main topic that I'd like to work on. But if part of doing my research, I realize that I actually want to change my ideas as I go along, then I can save those other sort of backup ideas so that they're easy to find later. This is what it looks like when you add items to your bookmark. They'll just start populating in a list on the left-hand side. To add it to a collection, just an organized collection that you create, all you need to do is check the items that you'd like. There's an option to add all if if everything that you've added is going to go in the same collection. By default, this drop down will be the most recent collection that you created. But all you have to do is check these, click Add Checked Items to Collection, and then they will appear in your collection that you created. So this is the collection that I created. These are the 3 items I wanted to add to it. And now you can always come back to this My Collection section to get the items that you bookmarked. If you can share it, if you're working on a group project, you can share this with others in your group. You can rename the collection if you want, like say you change the title. If I wanted to change the title from this collection to something else, you can also delete an item if you like, if you realize, no, I'm actually not going to end up using this. So you can customize this however you like. All right, content organization. It's a big site. So how do you find stuff? So AMP has 24 item formats. These are types of items. There are 13 single item formats. So single item is going to be a newspaper, a map, a document, something like that. And then we have what are called information item formats. There's 11 of those. Those function not as individual items, but as hubs of multiple items linked to a specific topic. So Grand Canyon is an information item, specifically a place. And everything on that information item hub is items related to the Grand Canyon. So it could be maps, images, newspapers, documents. So it's not an individual item, they're hubs of information comprising multiple items. And you'll see what that looks like. So here are the single item formats that we have. So you can see that we've got some audio files, video files, images. Images includes anything from photographs to flyers, posters, things like that. Not just photographs. But yeah, so you can see the list here. I'll call out document and document handwritten scan. Sometimes we have handwritten documents, which don't. I'll talk about OCR in a little bit, but you can't find text in it very well. So we sort of run it differently so that you're kind of that the document that you're going to be looking at is handwritten scan. It might take a little more work to read it, a little more work to get through it. But yeah, so these are our single item formats, and these are our information item formats. So an information item, any one of these could have any combination of single item formats, and they can also link to themselves. So a place, the Grand Canyon, might also have a person linked to it. It could have an event linked to it, and it could have a map, a video, image, book, any combination thereof. So when you get to an information item page, and it's you'll see in the very top left, it'll say format, it'll say one of these, and then you'll know that you're not looking at an individual item, but a hub of multiple items. Okay, I'm going to talk about optical character recognition for a bit, or OCR. So it's a technology that's applied to digital items that allows searches to look for keywords within the item. So when you run a project, it's looking inside specific item types so that you can find it a lot more easily. Because sometimes you'll find, a document, you might find it, click on it, and then if you haven't run OCR on it, the document could be 1,200 pages long. How are you going to find something specific within the document? OCR is what allows you to do that. So if you do a search on the memory project, and we have a whole section on basic search, advanced search that we'll go through. But once you do a basic search on the memory project, any search results that you click will automatically have OCR applied to it. That's how it found it in the first place. So if I ran a search for Grand Canyon and I clicked on this item, then the words Grand Canyon will highlight for me. That's the OCR being applied. So you can see here, Grand Canyon has been highlighted in green. That's not, in the actual book, that's not, it's not a green highlighter in there. That's the OCR working. So once you open a document after a search and you see a green highlighting, then you'll know that OCR has been applied, and that's how you're going to find specific items. And you can see the search box here that opens up for certain item types, like a book or a document. If you want to do a new search within the document, you can do that. So if you wanted to find out, for example, Bay of Naples is mentioned here. You could change this from Grand Canyon to Bay of Naples, and then you can find every instance of that sequence of words inside the document. So you don't have to stick with the original search that you did. You have the flexibility to do a new search in the document or book or whatever it is, and you can find the OCR text that way. Here's OCR applied in newspapers. It works a little bit differently. It highlights in yellow. So I've highlighted over here where it shows up. And sometimes it's a little hard to see when you click into it. This light bulb icon, you can toggle the highlighting on and off. So sometimes it's easier to turn it off. Like, there it is. So sometimes if you just click into it and it's highlighted automatically, it may be hard to see. So this is a handy feature for just turning highlighting on and off to make it a little bit easier when it shows up. And most of the items in these formats are OCR'd. So these are pulled from the single item formats. Not all of them Again, document handwritten. OCR doesn't work on it very well. The OCR tool that we have for the memory project doesn't read handwritten text very well, so it's not included here. But for the most part, if it's one of these item types, you can expect OCR to have been applied to it. Okay, searching, basic and advanced. So if you just want to do a basic search on the home page or the left-hand side of pretty much any page on the memory project, that navigation panel, click the search icon, and then just enter whatever you'd like. So for example, I'm going to keep using the far right, you'll have that magnifying glass icon. Just click that search icon after you've entered your keywords. And that's just a very basic search. If you just want to get everything, um, anything you could possibly find, including things you may not want, you just want to cast a very wide net, just do a basic search. But you do have advanced search options as well. So you start from the same place, click the search icon, enter your same keywords, so Grand Canyon. But you also have five advanced search drop downs. And we'll go through each of these one by one. Format. So by default, all the formats are selected. So these are all the item types and all the information items, single items and information items. These are all listed by default. If you know that you only are interested in a book or a document, you can toggle all of these on and off. You can check all, uncheck all to uncheck them all. And then you can select any combination. So if you want a book and a document, and this goes on for, it's a longer drop down to make it fit on this page. It stops at document handwritten, but it goes all the way down to yearbook. So if you wanted a book and a document and a yearbook and a transcript, you could select any combination of these that you'd like. And then those search results will only return results of those formats. So it's a good way to exclude formats if you don't want something. Within data, so you can tell it that you only want to search the title. So if you type in Grand Canyon, it's only going to look for those words in the title of the item. All fields means every metadata field. So it's going to look in if it was a map, it would be in, say the creator field, the publisher, the date, all those different metadata fields. So it's searching the title and every other field. And then all fields plus content means it's searching the title and all the fields and any OCR text that you find. So this is going to be your broadest search. This is what's turned on by default. You can change it to title only or all fields if you want to limit the search a little bit, but by default, it's going to search every possible place. Search within fields is probably the most advanced. It's the most specific. So if you know that you only want to search a document and you only want to search the state agency field, you can tell it to do that. So this first drop down is going to be the template or the item type, the format. You can tell it what format or item type that you want to check. And then you can tell it what field, metadata field within that template you want to check. So the way I have this set up now, whatever you type in the search is only going to search the state agency field of the document template, and it's going to ignore everything else. So if you want to get really specific, you have this option. Date, you can give it a custom date range if you want. You do need to enter 2 full dates in month, day, year format like this, and both of them need to be filled out. There's sort of an invisible feature that allows the site to search for documents only within the date range that you're looking for. So if you know, for instance, you only want to see items between 1931 and 1937, this is what we would be entering into these 2 search fields for the dates. And search for is another drop down. So if I typed in Grand Canyon and I picked all keywords, it's going to look for all the items that have Grand and Canyon in it. If I do any keywords, it's going to look for items that have Grand or Canyon, but not necessarily both. So if you're looking for the Grand Canyon, very specifically, you wouldn't want to do this one because this is going to give you anything that's Grand and anything that's Canyon, not necessarily the Grand Canyon. If you know you want the Grand Canyon, then that's what exact phrase match is for. It's going to search Grand Canyon exactly in that order, that specific phrase. So by default, it's going to check all keywords because that's the broadest. But if you want to be more precise, use exact phrase search. And I'll call out now, there is a sort of issue with newspapers not highlighting if you go exact phrase match newspaper results. It won't highlight. Go check out the Amplify Your Research newspapers recording, and there's a workaround for how you can find the item you're looking for and still get the newspapers to highlight. It's sort of a known problem, so I just want to call it out here. But yeah, make sure you check out that Amplify Your Research newspaper session to sort of get the workaround so that you can do exact phrase matches and find the newspapers you're looking for so that they highlight. And for the advanced search, you can combine any of these search options. So you can do they'll stack. So you can enter Grand Canyon as your search term and tell it, I only want newspapers. I want it to check all the fields instead of the LCR. I only want results between 1880 and 1940, and I want Grand Canyon exactly. And then you would run your search, and then all those search results would be available to you. If you select search within fields as an advanced search option, it'll disable the format and within data options because you're already telling the search where to look. So it just eliminates the possibility that you give the search conflicting information. So it sort of disables those other two options. But if you do search within fields, you can still use date and search for options. Those three will still stack. All right, filters and facets. Any search results can be filtered even if you didn't pick any advanced search options. So if you just did a very basic Grand Canyon search, you just type that in, did your basic search, no advanced options, you can still come over here and you'll see that these are, some of these options are the same advanced search that you had in the beginning. So for example, format and date. So we'll go through each of these. And again, any search results page that you get, you're going to have these options available to you, these filters. So the format, this is where you can choose which format you want. So the main difference between this one and the advanced search is this one only works one at a time. So if you click city directory, it's going to show you only the 403 items that are city directories. It won't, if you try to pick document, I believe it'll sort of turn off the city directory, so it doesn't stack very well. But if you come here and you know, like, oh, okay, like I only want to look at documents, cool, pick that, and that will be the only results that you get after your search. These little arrows, these indicate that there are drop downs. So in the example that I have here, I'm looking at the document template. The arrow will go from a right to a down to let you know that the options are available. And then I clicked on state subagency down arrow to show you what's available. So in this example, under the document template in the air quality division metadata field, so that's what these are. These are all the metadata fields where the state subagency is a metadata field, but these are all the values that are in that metadata field, I should say. So in this example, there are 36 documents that have air quality division in the state subagency field. So again, this is helpful if you already know what you're kind of looking for and you're looking for something very specific, or if you just kind of want to see where the most stuff is. So in this example, state agency, the most stuff is the aeronautics division and the air quality division as state sub-agencies. And so if you're interested in just kind of finding, where the most things are, this might help kind of lead you toward that information. You might start off thinking like, I'm not even sure what to look for exactly. This will kind of tell you like, well, this is where you'll find the most stuff. And that might help form a thesis and give you, the documents, or in this case, the documents that you're looking for. Starts with, this will filter filter items by the first letter of the item's title. So in this example, I ran a search for Grand Canyon. I told it I only want items that start with G. I bet most of those 1,020 items are the Grand Canyon. But you can tell it, if you're looking for something that starts with the number or any of these other letters, you can use those. So mileage may vary. Sometimes it's very helpful, and sometimes it just doesn't help at all. It kind of depends on what you're looking for, but it is available to you as a filter. It has the following. This filter will let you know if there's any sort of like special metadata applied, sort of what's called non-templated. So it doesn't show up in a metadata template, but it's still metadata that exists that's been applied to the item. So we'll go through each of these. If has the following says geo, it means the item has a map embedded in the page. This will be on the left-hand side of the Grand Canyon Village place page, and place is an information item. So here you can see just a Google map that's sort of been embedded in a page, and the page won't look exactly like this. I sort of combine different elements for visual clarity, but this map will show up if it's been geotagged, and then the item that I was looking at here in particular was a map of Grand Canyon Village, and so you can kind of use sometimes you can use this for items to compare, and on the site if you click on this map area, it'll open up window with Google Map, and it will behave like Google Maps. So you can scroll, you can click around, things like that. So yeah, that's what the geotag means. It means a map, uh, embedded map like this will be on that items page. OCR, we went over this already, but has the following OCR. If there are results for has the following OCR, it means OCR has been applied to the item. So here's the same example from before, doing the Grand Canyon. This one has been OCR. Has the following a tag. Some items have tags. So in the very top left-hand corner of any item, if there are tags, you'll see something that says show tags. You can also toggle this on and off to turn off the tags if you don't look at them. And this particular item is a newspaper with Grand Canyon Caverns as a tag. So I've highlighted it here where it shows up. If I click show tags to disable it, toggle it off, then this Grand Canyon Caverns would go away. The red box is something that I added. It won't show up as a red box on the site. I just did it here to help it be easier to see for this slide.
All right.
All right, so let's say you found items that you'd like. You'll also be able to download some items. There's a download icon in your tools section. So just click on that. Some institutions allow downloading, some of them don't. If it's been allowed, you'll see an item like this, download the webmaster. If it's not allowed, you won't see that. So one way to check to see like, oh, I wasn't able to download it. How can I get a copy of this? Check the right statement. These will tell you the permissible use and copyright status of any item. So these are just examples of right statements you might see. Here's more examples. So yeah, check the right statement field. This will be to the right of items. And when in doubt, find the contributing institution, which is in the metadata, and then just reach out to us. I just use us as an example. But again, there's 100 different institutions. Just find out who contributed the item and see if you can ask them permission. If you're stumped or the right statement is not clear, you can't figure out where it came from, click the envelope icon on any item, and that will send us an email with a link to that item, and we can help you out. Just send us your message, and it'll get to us, and we'll help get you in touch with the right person, with the right institution for the item. Citations and references. Click the quotation icon in the bottom left of the tools. So here's the map of Grand Canyon, for example. Clicking on that will give you a citation builder. So when you're building your annotated bibliographies or just your regular bibliographies, you can use this as a place to start anyway. You might need to tweak it for the specific format that you're using, but this will give you all the individual components you would need to build a citation for your items. So this will be really handy for your bibliographies. These slides are available to view and download on the Arizona Memory Project. So you can click on that link, and that will take you to this exact same presentation. So you can look at these slides at your leisure. You can always contact us at azmemory@azlibrary.gov. That will go to both of us, and we'll help you out any way that we can. And if you have any larger questions about the Arizona Memory Project, is just one resource of the State of Arizona Research Library. If you've got broader questions or you have more questions about what else does the library have, you can always fill out this. It's called LibAnswers. It's just a tool that we use to sort of keep track of incoming questions. So if you've got a question about the library as a whole or what else is available to you, you can click on that. And that concludes our presentation. I hope that was helpful for you. Again, we are available to help with anything that you might need. And thanks so much. Have a great National History Day. I hope you all have a lot of fun doing your projects.
Well, thank you so much, Ryan. I think that's going to be really helpful for our students to be able to know how to navigate such a beneficial resource to be able to help them with their projects. So I appreciate you taking the time today. And yeah, happy History Day, guys. Thank you.